The Xbox Series X is just around the corner, but there's something else around the corner. Something Microsoft's been very quiet about. That's also been the worst kept secret in the gaming industry. And that's the Xbox Series S. Now, first off, that would obviously work with all your controllers, especially the new one with the textured grip and the share button and all that stuff. And also things like the 1TB card that you'll stick into the back of the console. So, for the longest time, people have been debating whether this is a good idea or not. Now, here's the thing about me. If you've been following me for a while, you know that my opinion for the longest time was I didn't know whether it was a good idea or a bad idea. But now, I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to tell you why. First up, we have all these developers around the world making games for Xbox Series X right now. Now, these development kits that Microsoft has out there has literally different presets literally on the front of the console, which they can program themselves, that can kind of optimize games for different pieces of hardware. And as we know, for the next year or two, many developers, first party and third party, will be supporting the current generation, just like last generation. Many games from last generation were supported. Things like the upcoming Gotham Knights, it's going to be one of the biggest games next year, is also a current gen game. But no one is complaining because it's going to be a fun game, and it's a gorgeous game from what we were shown 2 weeks ago. But I think the Xbox Series S is a good idea because in 2020, a lot of people don't have tons of money to spend. 2020 has been rough on people, but when it comes to gaming, people are always willing to pay for a next generation console. And with the Xbox Series X, you're going to be having things like 4K up to 120 frames per second. That makes sense. But you're also going to be having all these games that can run at 60 frames at 1440p and even 4K on the Xbox Series S, because many current generation Xbox games can run at 4K and 60 frames. So all those games going backwards will continue to work like that and be optimized for the Xbox Series S. And frankly, I think it's a cool idea because you're going to have all the small benefits of the next generation consoles, such as quick resume and faster loading times, because again, the Xbox Series S is rumored to have the exact same SSD, the exact same CPU. So when it comes to compatibility, I don't understand why anyone would have an issue, because if you use your head, game design wouldn't be holding anything back. Nothing would be holding anything back, because again, same CPU, same SSD. It'll literally just have a weaker graphics card, and at the same time, isn't really an issue, because if you go out there and you have a choice between two Xboxes that look vastly different from each other, that do vastly different things, one being a more premium console, one being a cheaper box but still very capable, I don't see the problem. It's not confusing, especially when the boxes look completely different. It's not going to be an issue because this generation, the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X didn't confuse anyone. All over the world we have Xbox game studios making the best games they can, optimized the best way. We've seen Microsoft and the Coalition get Gears 5 working fantastic on the original Xbox. That's what they do. And going forward, you'll have all your backwards compatible games. But also, you have Game Pass. Think about it like this. An Xbox Series S, possibly $299 or even $350, coming out with a few months of Game Pass. Still being able to play games like Flight Simulator 2020 when that releases on console, because it's coming. So, gamers are going to be offered choice. And as I think now, and as I'm for Xbox Series S, there's no reason to be against it. If you want the higher version, you buy that. If you want 4K up to 120 frames per second, you buy that. But if you're fine with 4K or 1440p, 60 frames. The Xbox Series S is going to be a fantastic console for that. Another thing is that if you have kids or want to buy multiple consoles, you don't necessarily have to buy the most premium box. And when it comes to Microsoft's upcoming games like Avowed and Fable, those games will still run at the best possible resolution and frame rate on those consoles on Xbox Series S. So, I personally think the Xbox Series S is a good deal because the time we're in now, not everyone can afford a potential $500 box. There's nothing wrong offering an alternate version. And this is a different generation coming forward because we're taking our games with us. We're taking our accessories. You're going to be able to fire up an Xbox Series X or S day one and have all your Xbox games, your 360 games, and your Xbox One games that are backwards compatible. It's literally a generation unlike anything before. The value is there, and bundling Xbox Game Pass like they have in the past, that's quite a package. And frankly, I don't see anything wrong with offering an alternate box that's cheaper for people that want that. And game design isn't holding anything back. Nothing is holding back game design, because game design hasn't changed in 15 years, like I've said before. But anyway, I think it's a good box for people that want it, and that's that. I have more videos coming soon. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, share it on social media or wherever you go. And I have more videos coming soon. I know I haven't been posting for the past month, but by the time I'm posting this, I'll have posted why on Twitter, why I haven't been posting much lately, and it's it'll make sense once you see it. But anyway, I'm out. I hope everyone has a good day. Peace.